Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of A Wee Touch of Madness, the video podcast hosted by me, Loz, every single week, where I talk to a brand new musical guest every single week. And now this week, I have a band called Stainless, all the way from Honduras. Fucking hell, Honduras, that is a long way to go, from Canada to America to Honduras. What the fuck? You alright, guys? How you doing?
We're great, pretty excited to be doing our very first UK interview.
Very first UK interview. Well, I feel fucking flattered. I really do feel flattered for that.
We'll never forget this one.
Oh, neither will I. Neither will I. You're actually the first people that I've had on the show that's not from the UK, Canada, or America. So this is actually pretty exciting for me as well. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been talking this up to everybody who knows me for the last couple of weeks. I was like, oh yeah, I've got this band coming on from Honduras. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get them on.
Yeah, pretty ecstatic, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm actually really looking forward to talking with you guys today. So, should we crack on, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah.
And it gets even more exciting because, I mean, the band's from Honduras and I'm from Bolivia, South America. Honduras is in Central America. I am from Bolivia, but I live in Honduras. The rest of the guys are from Honduras. So it's even more exciting.
Well, you heard that first here, everybody. It's the A Wee Touch of Madness has now gone major international.
Yeah.
Alright, so guys, can you tell me a little bit about yourselves and your band and the music that you do to the people out there who may not be aware of the music that you deliver?
Well, for sure. Yeah, Stainless. Well, we're from a city called San Pedro Sula, which is one of the main cities in Honduras. It's not the capital city, but it's the one that has business and industry.
It's considered the industrial capital of the country.
Right.
Yeah, it's the industrial capital of Honduras. And we were formed in 2014, but you can say we finally took it seriously in 2018 when we recorded our first song, and we started playing live only once we had a song released, the first song released, which was Can't Feel It Though. So we released our first song in late 2018, December 2018, and then we started playing live in January of 2019. So we have a really short live. We mix everything, all the influences that we grew up with, which are like pop punk, nu metal, punk rock, grunge, post-hardcore, emo, stuff like that, from the 90s and early 2000s. But we don't want to be like a throwback band either. I mean, we want to give it our own twist to it, so we can
modern take.
A little modern take.
Well, you did kind of explain to me in the chat that we had just before I got you guys on that obviously you prefer to do your songs, record them in English, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
Well, yeah, but in a way. But
yeah, of course, it opens the doors. I mean, there are many big artists from Latin America, but they're only big here, Latin America and Spain, if you stretch it a bit. But, when you sing in English, everybody listens to it, no matter if they speak it or not. So that's why we choose this language.
But there we go. English is the universal language of the world, and you heard it there first, everybody. I'm joking, obviously. Well, you kind of answered a bit of my next question already. I was going to ask, what were the influences that got you into doing music? Then you kind of already answered that in a way, unless you want to expand on that a little bit more.
I think Gonzalo can expand on his influences, stuff like that.
Yeah, it varies from each member to another. In my case, or in my experience, well, like Oscar said, genre or style wise, we share all these same influences. But like what inspired us, I think that's very of each own, right? So in my case, I learned, I started music because going through this all these teenager years and all these conflicts with parents and instead of like trying to find something else to get through it or deal with it, I instead learned to play guitar, and that's how it started developing. And
Well, that's
I
a
don't know,
healthy
like,
way of doing it. That's a very
Yeah,
healthy way of doing it.
that's how
Instead
I
of
got-
causing conflict, just play an instrument.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, play your way through it.
Play your way through the pain.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old. My dad bought me my first acoustic guitar. And well, this was before YouTube actually. So nobody taught me. I only had like 2 months worth of lessons. Barely learned anything. And the rest, I figured it out by myself. So, on an acoustic, I played acoustic guitar for 8 years. My dad never wanted to buy me an electric guitar, so I had to save my high school money like for 4 months straight on my last year of high school, and that's how I bought my first electric guitar. I started for 4 months straight to buy my first electric guitar because my parents didn't want me to play rock music because back in the day they used to say it's the devil's music and stuff like that, and musicians are drug addicts and all this shit, so they didn't want me to get into that, but I still did.
You know something? That's a cool joke my dad still has with me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you punky ass rockers," but he does it in a good way. He's like, "You addict."
I think that's quite funny though that your dad didn't want you to be like didn't want to get you an electric guitar so that way you wouldn't be like a rocker of some sorts. And well, what are you doing now? So
that's exactly what
sorry,
I'm doing.
Dad, I'm still gonna do what I do.
Yeah, and I never drank, I never smoked. Actually, we were both straight edge, and I went to college, I graduated, I have a career outside of music, so I didn't lose myself in the music. I still balance everything. I turned out well. I still turned out well.
You still turned out well.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, obviously, with you were saying that you've done your first release near the end of 2018. So with that then, with the music that you've done so far, you've got like 2 releases out at the moment, and we're going to be touching on the latest release a little bit later on. So my question is that if you could do a collaboration with anyone, who would it be and why?
Ooh, well, I think
it's me.
That would be a different. That would be a different answer for each member, because of our influences.
Yeah, but it's me, isn't it? It's straight up me. I know it is. You want to do a collaboration with me?
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, actually, we want to make more collabs with people from all over the world. Well, I don't have like a favorite bands. I have many favorites, because I love the Foo Fighters, for example. I would love to collaborate one day with Dave Grohl, or do stuff like with Oliver Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon. Many different artists,
I knew Dave Grohl was going to be your first character to mention, though.
Yeah.
I actually had a feeling that was going to be like Dave Grohl was going to come up at some point. I don't know why, but I just had this feeling. I've heard his name quite a lot recently, so like from other people that I've been interviewed or I've just spoken to, they're like, no, Dave Grohl, I want to get him. I'm like, okay.
Also, maybe Brandon Boyd from Incubus will be amazing. One of my favorite bands, all-time favorites as well.
Well, that's definitely kind of on both ends of the spectrum in a way. Going from one end straight to the other. Yeah. Okay.
And we have songs like that. You haven't heard it all.
I haven't heard it all, and I'm looking forward to hearing everything that you guys have got coming out. I've listened to the songs that you've sent in to me, and I've enjoyed them so far. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what else you've got coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
So then, can you explain to me the creative process that you go through when you create your music? You know, when you guys get together, you come up with the concept, and then when you get it out there to the people for them to listen to.
Well, these songs that we have right now, I mean, we wrote them over the course of the first, of the first 6 years of our career. Actually, most of the songs that we have yet to release were the first ones. We, funny enough, we ended up recording the last songs we had at the moment, because you always fall in love with the latest thing you did, and you start thinking like, oh, this sucks. I'd rather record this one. And then you like it again. Then you get sick of your new song and you start liking the old songs again, stuff like that. Well, I usually start the ideas on the guitar with the riff, and then I bring the riff to I make a crappy demo on the computer, and then I send it to the guys. We try it out on the rehearsal, and that's how it goes. And well, we all write the lyrics together, especially with Gonzalo. Yeah, he helps me a lot with the lyrics as well.
So it's like a team effort in a way. Not one person has like full control about what direction the band is going into. So it's just like, right, no, we all get together. If we all agree, we do it. If one person disagrees about it, we ain't gonna do it, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually surprising, because out of a lot of the bands that I have interviewed so far recently, that has actually been a common answer that I've heard. It's like not one person takes the lead on doing everything. It's always a team effort. The whole band is always involved in every decision, which me personally, I think that's a brilliant way of doing something. It's a brilliant way of getting stuff done, because that way, if everyone agrees, then, and if something goes wrong, it's on everybody, not just one person.
Yeah, it takes time to get to that point, actually, because when we started, I was all about like controlling everything, but you grow up,
I don't believe you. No,
you grow up, you mature, and well, it's been.
I can see
better.
Gonzalo there nodding away, going, yeah, he used to be like that. Yeah, he used to be really bad.
Yeah, he can tell you about that.
Yeah. We had like this creative crash where each member had their very specific influences and playing styles, but it was a matter of time, making all the pieces fall into their respective place, where Oscar understood how I played, the type of things I like to do. Then I got to understand his way of structuring a song, and then like the drummer. So it was also a matter of time to getting to know each other and how to put all of that together.
Yeah, the more seasoned you get playing with it's not the same, playing with a new companion in the band, a new guitar player, a new drummer. It's not the same as playing like for 6 years straight with the same people. So we kind of know each other a lot better now. And it's never been like we've never had like huge differences, because we all kind of share similar influences, So for example, with Guillermo, I never have to tell him what beat I want. I mean, he kind of reads my mind and plays exactly what I would have thought it would be. And it gets better over time. The more you know the other people in the band, the easier it gets to understand each other and find a common ground.
This is a small comment. It's so funny when we used to play live. I say when we used to, because right now, because of COVID, it's been like a little harsh, that the live scene. But when we play live, we used to have like this. We knew where each other could have troubles or screw it up when we were playing live. So that was funny, and it's funny to know it. It's like Oh, please, please, please,
He's
don't.
about to fuck it up. He's about to fuck it up, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, because at the moment I'm kind of glad that my video podcast, my shows aren't live at the moment. They're just all pre-recorded, which is a bit of a godsend because I'm sure like everybody if you're at home like either watching this or listening to this in the background, you know about my disastrous first attempt at a live stream. uh, where we managed to save it by getting it recorded that night as well and then uploading it that following morning. So that was a bit of a disaster doing that.
Yeah, it takes time. It
Yeah.
takes time to get good at anything.
Well, I don't know, I'm pretty good at talking.
Yeah,
I
of
don't know.
course. Yeah. Oh no, and I know that program OBS is really complicated. I've already seen how hard it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Hooking up everything.
I've tried setting it up so many different ways. I've had my mate Rob from Canada help me try and set it up the way that he's got it set up for his system, but it just didn't work for me. And we were trying so many different ways to try and get it working. And then I thought I had it, and then when I had Enoch on, he was going to be my experiment for my first live stream, and then it went on, and it just completely failed. At one point you couldn't see him, at another point you couldn't hear me, then you couldn't hear him, and then it cut out, then it froze, and then it was just a whole fucking mess. In fact, my artist, Big Q, like producer and all that, he was phoning me during the live stream, kept phoning, going, bro, we can't actually hear you, we can't hear nothing through this, you need to stop. I was ignoring the calls. It was like 15 missed calls or something. He was trying to get through to me, so I was like, "Fuck off! I'm trying to do a live stream." I didn't realise that no one could fucking hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God there's no footage of that saved.
Yeah, it's like when you're in the studio and you're doing a killer take and you forgot to press record.
Yeah.
I think we all have done that.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So then, what is the thing that you know now that you wish you could have told your younger selves at the start of your music career? Oh yeah, this is a head scratcher, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know, like, well, to me, I wish I had the willpower to learn to record, mix, and produce earlier on, because I have been curious for many years before I actually started. Taking the time to watch YouTube tutorials and all stuff. I started in 2017, and I've gotten really good so far. But if I had started back when I first had that curiosity, like back in 2011, I would be a lot better now, for example. And I would have understood many things, like setting up guitar tones, because it took me a lot. Actually, Gonzalo knows a lot more than me when it comes to guitar tones and stuff like that. He hears a lot of stuff that I don't hear. Well, now I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Funny enough, as a producer and as a guitar player, I'm way better at recording and mixing drums than actually recording guitars, which are my own instrument. But Gonzalo is a lot nerdier with that, with the
It's a lot
amps, with the
nerdier.
guitars,
Wow.
with the pedals and all that. So I learned a lot from him.
But he's a lot nerdier though.
Yeah, it's in a good way, of course.
What about you, Gonzalo? What is it that you wish that you know now that you could have told your younger self?
Well, you know what's funny? I actually have always had this thought in my head, but never put it in practice. So it's this thing about preferring, like in this sense, in the band sense, always taking people that takes this kind of stuff as a formal compromise over someone that is a skillful player. You
Hmm.
know, have someone take. I don't know. Sounds really small, but actually, it's a big appreciation. You know, to think and always like have some think to put first someone that is willing to get somewhere, maybe someone an intermediate player or something like that
So like a
before.
like a mentorship in a way, someone to kind of take you on board under your wing to try and teach you different ways of doing stuff, so that way you can improve your own skills to get better as you get older. In a way,
That's right. It's more like working with people that maybe it's not such a skillful player, a skillful musician, but it's a responsible person before a someone that is maybe skillful, but it's not as responsible as other people that it's not that like skillful.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, basically like a mentorship in a way. Then basically, so you learn from other people as you play with people and play with people. That sounded dirty. Sorry. You so you learn from people as you're playing like music together, so that way you can see where you need to improve, you can see where they need to improve, and you can both help each other out to get there. So like a collaboration, and one in some respect, like a mentoring collaboration.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That was a very in-depth one there. Quite a lot of
Yeah.
in-depth explanation as well. Go me. Well, everybody, well, like I say to you every single week, with every new guest that I get on every week, listen to the advice that these people they tell you, that they give you, that they wish they had known at the start of their career, especially if you are a young artist, a young musician, or even a young producer, like just trying to learn the ropes. Just listen to the advice that they give, that these people give out to you every single week, that my guests give you every week. It's free of charge, it ain't going to cost you nothing, but it will save you a lot of pain and aggro in the future. It will save you a lot of mistakes along the way. You're still going to
Yeah.
make mistakes, don't get me wrong,
We're still every day.
yeah, but if you can take the advice and you learn something from it, then you've got these guys who've done it already, who've learned from the hard way, telling you, no, there you go. Yeah, there we go. I'm rambling now.
Yeah.
So, where is it that the people at home watching this or listening to this in the background, like if they're cleaning their house or whatever, they just put the show on, just listening away? Where is it that they can listen to your music online?
Oh, well, we're on every platform, on Spotify or Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, pretty much everywhere. YouTube. We have a music video for our first song, which was Can't Feel It Though. And it was actually pretty well received in my own country, which is Bolivia. Because, like I told you, it gets even more exotic. We're actually more well known in Bolivia than in Honduras. We've had like more praise, let's say it like that, like a little bit more praise in Bolivia than in Honduras.
Well, you've hit
Uh,
quite a lot of views on that video, on that official music video since it's been out. I'm looking at the stats for it right now, and you've hit quite a lot of views on it. Like for an
we're a small
undiscovered
band.
band,
Yeah.
for an undiscovered band doing it DIY, that's actually pretty good number of views there.
Yeah, it was actually on the, well, we're also included in the Bolivian scene
Hmm.
because of me, because I'm Bolivian. They tend to
Oh, it's all because of
Bolivia
you,
has.
isn't it, Oscar? It's all about you, isn't it?
No, 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 no. I mean, it's because I am from. The thing is that Bolivia has like a national, like local music chart from
Yeah.
local bands, and we're from Honduras, but we're included there because it has a Bolivian member. So we've actually got to the number one spot with that first song. For a couple of weeks, we were on number one, and the video last year. We released the video last year. We took a while. It got on the number 8 at the top 20 of the best Bolivian rock music videos on 2020 in a very big TV show in there.
That is very, very, very impressive. That I'll take my hat off to you. I won't actually take my hat off, but I'll take my hat off to you. That is actually very, very impressive. I watched that music video and I thought it was absolutely incredible. The way that it was done, the way it was directed, the way it was filmed, just the whole concept of it, like together. It literally had me like sitting there the whole time watching it. Go, what the fuck? Well, come on, what's going to happen next? Sort of thing. I was really invested in watching it. So, how often?
Yeah, it was well thought out. We really, I think we really got the most out of the little we had at the moment, because it was a very simple concept, but we got a point across.
Yeah, yeah. So, where is it that your fans or people watching this, where can they connect with you online if they want to, just drop in and say hello?
Of course, and then Stainless HN Facebook. On Facebook, we're at Stainless HN, and it's the same in Instagram. On Instagram, Stainless HN. So we're pretty much on those two social media platforms, Stainless HN, and on YouTube as well. It's youtube.com/Stainless HN. That's where all of our music is.
And okay, everybody, if you didn't catch that or if you missed it and if it went a little bit too quick for you, don't worry, because as you know, I will have all of their social media handles dangling somewhere on the screen. I don't know where they're going to be because I haven't decided yet. Maybe there, or there, or there, or there. But
Magic.
it's all that post-production magic. Ooh.
Yeah.
But if you missed it, all their social handles are right there, and I highly encourage you to check them out. You won't be disappointed. So we are now getting to the nitty-gritty part of the interview now, guys, where I'm going to start asking you some difficult questions. But
All right.
before we get down to that, I want to take a minute to talk about your latest song, okay? Just Stop. Now, I listened to that before I had you guys come on, and I gotta say, it was a heavy, heavy hitter. It as soon as I put it on and I start listening to it, it's just like I kind of wish I had the volume on my headphones down a little bit because I think it blew out one of my eardrums.
Yeah, it sounds really loud.
Yeah.
The mastering was really loud as well. Well, Just Up was once again the last song we had written at that point. We were always like looking for, well, what song should go next? And then we came up with this song and we liked it so much that we wanted it to be the next single as well. So we have kept pushing the old songs back, but now the next song is going to be one of the old ones. Okay, but Just Up is a song that well, talks about giving your all for nothing in a relationship, the frustration of giving your all for nothing, which I think is very relatable. I think we've all been there at some point, right? So it's a very relatable topic, and it's a song that we really try to capture, kind of like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater type of vibe. We
Yeah.
wanted to make it like a video game soundtrack, or for an action movie, like Matrix or John Wick, this type of thing.
Yeah.
Action films. We wanted to be that intense, so that was our intention on that song. And the cool thing about this song, which is a dream come true, and I never thought we would make it this early in our career, is that we actually featured a Grammy nominated musician on it, which is
That's
Christian.
incredible.
Yeah, it's Christian Lapola from a Argentinian band called Animal, which I know that you guys don't know it in the UK, but these guys were the very first nu metal band in Latin America. They're a classic back from the 90s, but these guys are huge in Latin America. They sing in Spanish. They were the only Latino band that ever played the U.S. Warp Tour. They actually they play the U.S. Warp Tour. They are the only Latino band that plays at Knotfest.
Fucking
That's
hell, not
y-
fest.
yeah, Knotfest. They have a song with Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. They they used to record at Indigo Ranch, the same studio where
How the hell did
Sepultura,
you manage to
Slipknot.
get him? How did you manage to get him
We'll
to
get
appear
into
on the
that.
song?
We'll get into that. So those guys used to record at the same studios as Korn, as Deftones, Limp Bizkit, and all of those. They
Uh-huh.
recorded at Indigo Ranch. They have worked with the same people, the same producers. They're friends with all of those guys. And yeah, the thing is that this band is extremely humble. Like you have no idea. I mean, these guys, they're playing Nutfest one day, and they're playing like a small show with a small band the next day. They don't care, and they have sold hundreds of thousands of records worldwide. Well, these guys are very humble, like I told you, and I used to follow the bass player on Instagram. Um, so this guy, I used to follow him, and he had a service, an online service, which was for bass mixing service. So he used to post this on his stories, like if you're making a record or making a demo, and you want me to help you with the bass sound, you can sell me your raw bass tracks, and I will run it through my gear. You know, he has a lot of expensive amps and stuff like that. So that was the service that he offers online. You know, people send them their raw bass tracks, and he runs it through their gear. And well, that was the main idea at the beginning, just to do that. But then Gerardo, which was our bass player, he left the band. So we took it as an opportunity to actually get a guest bass player on the track. So I was
Oh,
going
that
to
is
send Gerardo's
incredible.
bass track to him at first, but once he left, what if I tell him to play? And I didn't know it was possible, you know, because he wasn't supposed to play on the records. I mean, he only processes your already existing bass track. But I told him, I had the balls to tell him, what if I want you to play on the track? And he was like, all right, just send it to me and let's see what happens. Let's see if I like it. And he loved it. He told me it was one of the best things anyone had ever sent to him. And he got really excited with it. And well, it took a while to get the song done, because he did different revisions. We did different versions with him on the bass, and he got sick with COVID really bad. There were a lot of things delaying this thing, but we finally made it. He finally um, he finally got cured from COVID and did the final take, and it turned out amazing, as you can hear it. He plays slap. He's a slap bass player. So the whole thing is played with the slapping technique, which is very unheard of and punk rock music, you know, because it's all about playing with a pick or stuff like that. He did it
Mhm.
all slap style, kind of like Fieldy from Korn.
That is absolutely incredible. That is an incredible story. But in a way, it just goes to show, it's like if you don't ask, you don't fucking know. You
He
know?
told me that. He told me that.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
like you never know. And he told me that there were a lot of big famous guys like him that were really humble and didn't care about collabing with anyone. But most people don't have the balls to ask. That's what he told me. So you never know. You just ask anybody,
Unless
and
you're
you
a
don't
shite
know who's
bag like
going to say
me, you'd
yes.
literally message all of your favorite artists and all that. Say, hey,
Yeah.
do you wanna come on my podcast?
Yeah, and I've actually interviewed big artists. I'm a TV host and a radio host as well.
Oh, are you?
So yeah, and I used to write for magazines, and I interviewed pretty big artists like that, and I never thought they would ever say yes, you know, because you never know. I already learned that a long time ago. You never
Yeah,
know who's going
exactly.
to say yes.
Exactly. I've had a lot of people who say yes, they want to come on. It's just now getting it sorted out and arranged and setting the time and date to get them on the show. Now, everybody, I'm not going to reveal what names I do have coming on the show in the future, because that will spoil the surprise. I know who it is. I know who's coming on, but I ain't gonna tell you yet. You'll have to find out when they come out.
Yeah. So yeah, this song has been pretty well received so far. We have been promoting it all over Latin America with through an agency. We have a publicist from Argentina called Martin Ramicone, who's been helping us. He has
Sorry,
been.
say that again.
We have an Argentinian publicist
Uh
who's
huh.
called Martin Ramicone, and
Martin Ramicone. No,
see, Martin. Yeah, it's Italian. It's an Italian last name. You know, all people from Argentina. Just so you know, most people in Argentina have Italian last names.
yeah, I was trying to see if I could get the pronunciation right.
Yeah, Ramicone.
Ra- Ram,
Ramicone.
I can't even
Ramicone.
get that curl on my tongue anymore now. Martina Ramicone. Nah, fuck it, I fucked it.
Yeah, well, he has been helping us promoting the stuff all over Latin America. We've been doing interviews everywhere from Mexico to Argentina
And now the
to
UK.
Chile and now the UK. His agency is based in Latin America. So we're trying to sort out the American and UK thing by ourselves.
Mm.
And it's a little hard to get there, but we already did an interview with New Noise magazine, but it has yet to be approved. You know, when you hit like a big magazine or something, of course, when you're a small band, you're not a priority, so it takes a while to get things approved.
Well, yeah, and that's why I do these video podcasts. Means that I'm sure everybody at home is a little bit bored and sick of me saying near enough every week. But this is why I do these video podcasts, is so that way for the smaller bands, the smaller people, the smaller artists, they have a platform to come on and promote themselves, promote their music to someone who wants to listen, someone who generally cares, and put it out there for you. You know, this is why I do it, and I love doing it. I love talking to people. Obviously, I love the sound of my own voice. Naturally, that's why I do the podcast. But I love doing it. I just to hear the passion and the excitement in my guest voices when they're talking about their music. You don't hear that passion anywhere else, and I get really hooked on it. It's like it's almost like a drug to me. I'm like, oh, I can't. Who have I got next week? Oh, I can't wait until I talk to them. Or I was like, oh, or at the end, I'm like, that was an amazing interview. I can't. That was brilliant. I love talking to those guys. I'm gonna definitely follow them. I'm gonna listen to all their music. I'm now their biggest fan now. It's all that just from talking and connecting with various different artists and bands from doing this show. I've learned so much, and I've learned about so many different genres and styles of how to do music, and yeah. So right, we are now going to get down to the nitty gritty, but I, if you haven't heard it already, their latest song, I just played a little snippet there. You've already heard a 15-second snippet of it in the intro, but
I forgot one thing from this song. Actually, I forgot one of the guests.
okay,
Yeah, can I say it right now?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like I told you, we have this amazing bass player on the track. You know, Christian Lapola from Animal, which is a
Hmm.
huge Latin American band. And we have some guest screaming vocals from Alan Fiallos, which is a great friend of ours from here. He's from a local band called Corona de Cuervos, which is an amazing deathcore band, very extreme. He does the high screams on the choruses. He's the one that does all the high pitched screams on the song. He kind of sounds like Chester Bennington on this one, actually.
I was
And his
wondering who that was. That really
Yeah,
stuck out the most. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, that was amazing. And his band has actually played at Wacken Open Air in Germany.
Wow.
Yeah, they're great. They're one of the best metal bands from Honduras. They sing in English and Spanish. They translate their name when they sing in English. It's Crow's Crown in English and Corona de Cuervos in Spanish. They have like English and Spanish versions of their songs. They're really good.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, if you haven't heard that latest song, Just Stop Now, I'm actually going to play a little snippet for you now, so that way you can get an idea of what the song's about. And if you like it, I'll have the link to that video for their YouTube down in the description, so you can definitely check it out. Okay, and that was their latest song, Just Stop. Now, let us know what you think, what you thought of that little snippet down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on it and what you think of the song. Now, guys, we are going to move on to the nitty gritty part of the interview. Now, this part is it can get a little bit weird sometimes. It can get a little bit weird. It's going to be very thought-provoking. It will most likely make you feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
With some of the questions that I will ask you. If at any point you want me to stop because you feel uncomfortable with the questions, rest assured, I will not. I will keep going. I don't care how uncomfortable you feel. I will keep going. I can see Gonzalo already kind of bricking himself there. So, are you ready for your first one? Yeah.
It's gonna be awkward.
It's gonna be a little bit fucked up.
All right.
Okay. What is the worst song ever?
The worst song ever? Well, I don't know, because there's a lot of meme songs that, this cringy artists that people make fun of. I don't know. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's unironic, so you never know. I don't like to I don't know. I don't like to speak poorly of other artists' work, but I don't know if I can pick one song.
You don't know if you can pick one song. Okay. What about you, Gonzalo? What do you reckon?
Yeah, just like Oscar, it's going to be a little awkward pointing someone, but if I had to pick one, I can't remember the name. Maybe Oscar helps me there. You know this guy from Nicaragua, Israel Lanusa.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. This is
is that there's some songs sometimes that they are poorly produced, or sometimes that's their purpose, like to sound weird or be funny or be a piece of what. but that guy has one song that he's like, I don't know, he's
all
like
of his songs are like this.
Yeah, but there's this very one that he's like,
his videos are super cringy. He's out of key. He's singing out of tune. He's singing out of pitch, out of rhythm. Well, I mean, if you ever get like a Latin American audience, they will love their asses off because everybody knows who this guy is. But in the UK, maybe not so much because it's in Spanish. Yeah. But it's a huge meme all over Latin America. Israel Lanusa is a huge meme all over Latin America.
Well, okay.
It's from Nicaragua.
I'll have to take your word for it then. I'll have to take your word for it because I have no idea who that is.
Yeah. It's really cringy.
Send me a couple of the tracks.
Yeah, I'll send you.
Send me a couple
links afterwards. He's still going. He does a lot of different genres.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. but it's horrible.
So, what is the most trouble that you have been in? Now, nothing too illegal. You don't want the police come knocking on your door. Don't want SWAT outside your door because you've incriminated yourself in like a murder investigation or some shit.
Getting in trouble. Well, I don't know. I've been
Because you said
pretty.
at the start that you're both straight edged, but I'm calling bullshit on that straight away. I think that no, you have been in trouble for something, and you're just trying to play the straight edge card.
I've been a very law abiding citizen.
I'm calling bullshit.
Maybe I don't know. I remember once I slept with somebody's girlfriend once, and I didn't know she was taken, and
Oh,
he actually threatened me. I received a death threat. He called me about it. That he found out that I've been with his girl, and damn. But I remember I told him like, why are you why are you fighting over a girl who cheated on you? I mean, and you want to stay with her? I mean, I
oh,
didn't.
Oscar,
I don't.
Oscar,
I
Oscar,
was
you
like,
dirty, dirty dog.
yeah. I was like, I don't even know you. You're not my friend. I mean, the only one who owes you loyalty is her, because she told me she was single. I didn't know it, so I didn't know. It's not my. It's not. I mean, it's not my fault. She lied to me. You should leave her. I mean, why are we even having this conversation?
Now that sounds like a future song.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, but you, Gonzalo, what's the most trouble you've been in?
Well, I don't know. I think I'll need at least like 12 hours to really think about all of them, and and also because you said that we should be like careful to not try to self-incriminate ourselves. So let's just leave it that one time I was fighting with a neighbor, and we took it like to a rock fight. We started throwing rocks to each other, and I used to play baseball back then,
Oh
so I
no.
hit his head, and oh man, I opened his head up. I don't know.
Damn. Damn, you
Yeah,
guys
it gets
are
pretty
crazy.
violent in this countries. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I don't know if you knew this, but Honduras used to be the worst, most violent country in the world not long ago.
I thought it was just Glasgow, but okay, no.
Actually, San Pedro, the city where we are, was the world's murder capital.
I actually did read that up somewhere. Like it was a good few years
Yeah.
ago. It came up on like an article. I think it was like a YouTube video I was watching, like a top tens net or something. Uh, a good couple of years ago, I was watching it. I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah, it's full of gangs and drug trafficking and stuff like that.
good fun times then. Good fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good fun times. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
So you were saying that obviously before COVID hit, you were playing live quite a bit, and you're trying to get back into that sort of scene of playing live. So, what is your favorite song to perform?
Well, there are songs that I like a lot, but they're not that much fun to play for me because I get the hard part. I get the shitty end of the stick because I have to play and sing, at the same time. So I got to keep my shit together. So, for example, there's a song that it hasn't been released yet, but it's called Sold Out. And it's really hard for me to play and sing at the same time. Um, Can't Feel It Though, which is the first song, is a song that I don't like to. I mean, we always play it live, but I always have a hard time performing it because sometimes I run out of breath because of how the phrasing is. Because I need to be catching my breath because it has a lot of things going on that verse. So yeah, it's kind of hard to sing and play at the same time. The easiest song, the one that I enjoy the most, is probably Just Stop. It's the most fun to play for me.
What was that song? That song title you said that hasn't been released yet. What was that one again?
Sold Out.
Sold Out. When are you planning on releasing that?
Maybe next year. It's one of the ones that we haven't recorded yet. We have already
I was gonna
recorded
say
like
because if
7
I could get
songs.
like a little snippet of it, if I can get
Oh,
like
I wish, I
hear a little
wish.
sample, yeah,
We
of
have
it when it
seven
comes out.
songs. We have 7 songs that we have recorded, but we have
Uh-huh.
only released 2 so far. And we will be releasing them one by one. But unfortunately, Sold Out has not been recorded yet. But yeah, we plan on recording it next year.
But when it comes out, let me know.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to listen to it. Let me know when it comes out. Get that saved straight
Yeah.
into my playlist. So, what are your thoughts on the music industry as it stands today?
Forts like
Yeah, your like ideas, thoughts,
for for
thoughts, your
my
thoughts.
thoughts, my thoughts. Oh
Yeah, your
yeah,
thoughts. Ah, so yeah,
well,
it's my
that
accent
Scottish
probably.
accent is it's a
Yeah.
little weird sometimes.
Oh, thank you.
It's a yeah, well, I've heard like different UK accents, and the one from Scotland is one of the thickest, I think, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not actually Scottish. I'm actually from the south of England originally. I moved
Oh,
up to
really?
Scotland a few years ago, and I've tried to keep my accent as best as I can. There's still a few little bits of Scottish twang that sneaks through, but
You
yeah,
kind of remind me of
I'm
Oliver
not
Sykes'
Scottish.
accent.
No, I'm not Scottish. I'm English. I live up here in Scotland.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, well, the accent is
you
kind of
actually
tricky.
would be surprised though, because the amount of people go, "Oh, you don't sound very Scottish," and it's because I'm not Scottish. I live in Scotland.
Well, yeah, I need to learn a lot more about the UK. I've heard different accents. I still don't remember how each one of them are, but it gets kind of tricky. My
Yeah,
thoughts on the music industry today. Well, it's really hard nowadays. There's like this. The internet has opened the doors for pretty much everybody, but at what cost? For example, back in the day, it was really hard to get on the radio and TV, for example. But once you got there, everybody knew you, whether they liked you or not.
mm,
So you had like a much more lasting impact on the industry and society in general. If you ever got your video MTV, everybody knew who you were, no matter if they liked you or not. And the internet was just starting out, and you would see like all kinds of fan pages of the bands that people saw on MTV and stuff like that. So you just have to be there once, and people will always remember you. And that's not the case today, because we have many viral hits that get forgotten like a month later, stuff like
yeah,
that. And the internet, well, is a great opportunity for most people, but also things have gotten way more professional. you know Back in the day when YouTube started, you could upload a video singing recorded with your phone on a guitar. You could get millions of views with that. And now the internet has gotten just as professional as television. People need to have amazing cameras and amazing lighting, and if it's not on 4K, people don't want to watch it, stuff like that. It
yeah,
makes it harder for everybody. YouTubers, artists, and all of those. And the good thing is that there's free access to knowledge. For example, I would have never ever figured out how to make a record sound the way it does if it wasn't for the internet, because that type of sound was only achieved by American producers, big time producers back in the day, and now everybody knows how to do it. Just a quick Google search, YouTube search, and you can learn pretty much everything. So there's a downside to everything. There's a lot of positive things, but there's also a downside. you know uh, Social media is evolving. It used to have way more engagement back in the day. Now it's a lot harder to get likes, to get shares, to get comments, and all of that. And you gotta kind of look for all the loopholes and the algorithm tricks. it's even tiring at times, because
Yeah,
there's
I completely get what you mean there. It, like trying to break through all that noise of everybody trying to get their own stuff out, and whilst you're trying to get your stuff out, it's trying to break through that noise and get yourself noticed. It's can be quite exhausting sometimes. When I found that trying to
yeah.
get some of my stuff through, and I'm like, right, okay, do I want to pay the $15 that Facebook offer me for a free advert? No, I don't want to
Yeah,
pay that. I'd rather rely on organic views or organic listens I
and
don't
there's
want to pay for it.
yeah, there's way too many hats to wear right now as an artist. Because back in the day, I mean, you recorded a demo or a song, you played it on the radio. It was hard to get there, but once you were there, you could get picked by a label and they could do everything for you. Because, back in the day, it was all about just getting on the radio and getting on television. But now you got to be active on social media. You got to be always creating content. And it's time consuming and it's expensive. You need to be your own producer. You need to be your own manager, your own video editor. You have to learn all these things that you don't even like sometimes.
Mm.
And yeah, you need to create a marketing strategy and a lot of things. And it gets harder every day because there's more and more things that you need to do. So I think that that's a big problem nowadays with the music industry, because it's not only about your raw musical talent anymore. It's about your content creation talent, your marketing talent. You need to be a graphic designer, you need to be a video director, you need
You
to be
need
a
to be an
producer.
influencer of some sort.
Yeah. And I've been figuring out things on my own. I think I'm getting better and better over time. But yeah, I wish I didn't have to do all of this. I wish I was signed to a label and have a team working for me. But I need to do this all by myself, all by ourselves. We need to
Yeah.
do all these things by ourselves.
What about you, Gonzalo? What are your thoughts on the music industry?
Um, I, they're pretty sure similar to Oscars. Everything's becoming so crowded. Uh, I just it just can't it just comes to my mind this phrase. I haven't seen The Incredibles in English, but not that I remember. But this phrase that's Syndrome says, when everyone has superpowers, no one will have them. It's just like everyone having the ability to reach uh, audience.
Mm.
So it's a little harder, outstanding when everyone is trying it.
It's harder to
So
stand out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to stand out, and I've tried it all. Trust me. I don't know if I haven't told you the story. I told you it always gets better with me, and it's related to the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl. I actually, the Foo Fighters let people play, let fans play with them on stage, right?
Yeah, I've seen videos
You
of
say,
that. Yeah.
you've seen Kiss Guy and all these guys,
Yeah.
kids that went on stage. I tried that, and I have there's actually a video in our page telling the story. It's in Spanish. I'm already editing the English version of it, but I actually went to Costa Rica. I traveled by myself on a bus for 3 days back in 2019 with a huge ass sign asking to play Monkey Wrench, which is the song that they let their fans play. And well, I waited 10 hours under the rain at the stadium, eating nothing but chips and Coca Cola. Um, and when they opened the stadium gates, there was like a huge stampede, and I couldn't get to the front row. So I had to settle for the fifth row, which I think played a major role in Dave not seeing me. And yeah, I traveled just, and I brought this big sign, like I told you. I was also wearing a T-shirt that said I came from Honduras to play Monkey Wrench. I brought a Ziploc with an envelope and a handwritten letter for the band. I brought a USB stick. It was in that envelope with our band's music, and I had rehearsed a guitar solo. I rehearsed a quick speech promoting the band if Dave Grohl ever let me speak on the mic. I tried. It was a master plan. I thought it was a master plan, and I was just so cocky and convinced that I was gonna make it because I saw nobody else was wearing any. Oh, nobody else bringing these signs. I thought there was gonna be a lot of competition, but nobody was. But well, I couldn't get to the front row. He never saw me, and I couldn't do it. But I will try it as soon as I get another chance to see the Foo Fighters live. I'm gonna do the same thing.
That's incredible. Jesus,
Yeah,
but you certainly weren't lying. You are full of incredible stories. You
yeah,
weren't lying. And most people when they say, "Oh, I've got some stories to tell you," it's like, "Oh, yeah, I can't wait," and get nothing. But no, it's just, oh, I can't keep up.
yeah. There's a lot more. Yeah, we're gonna be working with more like high profile producers and musicians in the future. We always want to make things. Always want to make the most out of what we have, and we always try to set the bar pretty high in terms of quality. So we're trying to get better and better and better every time if we want to do big things. And well, like I told you at the beginning, reaching the English speaking market, which is actually the global market, is our main goal as a band. Because here in Latin America, I don't know if it happens in Europe or other non-English speaking countries, but there's always bands that sing in English. But a lot of people kind of don't take them too seriously unless they make it overseas first. Because always people ask you, why do you sing in English? Why don't you use your own language? Why are you like betraying your roots or shit like that? And well, a lot of people don't take you seriously when you don't sing in your own language, like I told you, unless they make it overseas. For example, bands like Sepultura made it
Great
big in
band,
Brazil.
absolutely fucking great band. Love
Yeah,
them.
once they got out of Brazil, it happens more often in metal. Bands from non-English speaking countries reaching the global scene singing in English. Right now we have Ginger. Like I told you, happens more in metal. There was a band from Chile called Pentagram back in the 80s, which are credited as one of the actual death metal creators. Even Napalm Death has covered their songs, and they were from Chile. From example, right now there's a big band from Mexico, The Warning. They were even on the Metallica blacklist this year, and they're from Mexico, and they sing in English, and that's how they reach the whole world. It doesn't happen very often with Latino bands, and we want to be one of those few bands that finally break through the barriers and make it overseas.
Well, that was actually a very different answer to what I got last time. That sort of question came up. Now everybody at home, if you remember when I had Rob Belushi on from Italy, his answer to why he sings in English is because he doesn't like the sound of his voice when he sings his songs in Italian. That was his
It,
reason.
there's some of that. There's some of that too. There's some of that too.
It's
You
valid.
know, yeah, the thing is that I grew up listening to mostly American and British bands, so I kind of get way too used to that sound.
Mm.
So it's also a stylistic choice. It's a stylistic choice as well, but of course the main goal with that is to reach more ears around the globe. So that's the main reason. But I also prefer to sing in English, and I like the sound of my voice in English. We have already talked a little bit about making Spanish versions of our songs. That will probably come later on. But yeah, English is the main language of the band. And if we ever make Spanish versions, they're going to be Spanish versions, but there will always be an English version, which is going to be the main one.
The main one is going to be the English one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it brings different flavors to it. Like Oscar was mentioning, that's something very seen in metal bands. Let's say there's some artists that they'll sing like ballads. Let's say, what's the name of this guy that sings for the Tarzan soundtrack? Oh, Phil Collins. Let's say a ballad will likely sound more to the either English or Spanish than a metal song. If you hear a metal song, even with the same vocals, the same singing, it just gives you a different perspective of how it sounds. Just how Spanish is pronounced and how it sounds, like the English words.
Yeah, and there's another thing that, well, it's a lot easier for me to write in English than in Spanish
How so?
because Spanish, well, Spanish is a very complex language. I don't know if you ask any person who's ever tried to learn Spanish, I know it's complicated. It's very complicated, and it's really hard to write something that sounds cool, meaningful, and most importantly, not corny in Spanish. Because if you make a little literal translation of one of the lyrics, it would sound pretty corny in Spanish. We will need to find a more rhetoric, more poetic way of saying things to make it sound good in Spanish. Not anyone writes good songs in Spanish. It's really hard.
Well, there was a song that I did hear in Spanish. It was a couple of years ago. It was a hip hop song, which kind of caught me by surprise. It just came up randomly on one of these playlists I was listening to. I don't know. I can't remember who it was who done it, but I listened to it, even though I did not understand a single word that was getting sung. I still enjoyed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was the flow
Well,
of it and how it sounded in Spanish. I don't know what it was, but it just sounded really good. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember what the group was called, but it was a
was
hip
it
hop
big?
song.
Was it a big one?
I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I can't remember who it was. All I know is they were actually like from Spain, and
From Spain?
that's all I can tell you. But I can't remember who it was. But
I
it
kind
was
of
it
get
was
an idea of who it could be. Um, the thing is, yeah, well, I know um, Latin rap and urban music in general is one of the biggest genres in the whole entire world. Like right after the American hip hop scene, the Latin scene is a lot bigger. Well, it's just as big. The Latino scene, you know, it's big because we're all in this together. All Latin Americans united, and with the people from Spain, uh, when it comes to their music, for because I know I've heard like that it's pretty hard, for example, like for British bands to make it in the US. I don't know why, but very few like British bands uh, are actually embraced by the Americans, and especially with rap, right? You have like these huge rappers in the UK, like Stormzy, or
It,
you
it
have
depends on
this.
yeah, it depends on the genre of rap that they do, because obviously, as musicians yourselves, I'm pretty sure you're aware that from every single genre of music, there are like can be up to 100 subgenres of that one
Yeah,
genre. So it kind of depends what genre or subgenre of rap that they are doing, depends on whether or not it will work well in America or
yeah,
not.
because I've heard like you have this huge grime artist, for example, like
UK,
Skepta and
yeah,
Stormzy,
UK grime, yeah, that used. I
and that's not big in the States, right?
don't know
But
if
there
it's still
it's
big over
huge.
here though. I
Oh,
haven't
really?
listened. I haven't listened to UK grime since I was like 16, 17 years old. So that's going back years and years and years.
Well,
So
as people like Stormzy or Skepta, which are still pretty big, right, in the state. I mean, in the
yeah,
UK. Yeah, for example, the English speaking world, they are not united together. The UK with America, they're like very distant when it comes to culture and music and stuff like that. They don't support each other as well as the Latinos do. Because here in Latin America, we have like more than 30 different countries. And when it comes to the music, we all embrace it equally, no matter where it comes from. And actually, British artists are pretty big here in Latin America. I
Really?
mean, yeah, no matter where they come from. I mean, if it's in English, we listen to it, whether we speak it or not, we don't care. So we embrace both British and American artists equally, and Australian artists, no matter where they come from.
That's incredible. Just not the Americans.
Yeah, but Americans don't do that with artists from other countries. It's kind of complicated.
Oh, I like that. I like the sound of like everybody like just getting together and just like supporting the music, regardless of where it's from, just supporting it anyway. I like that idea. I like that concept. That sounds really good. I think more of that needs to happen like everywhere else. I mean, don't matter where it's
Yeah.
from, just get together, support. I really do like that.
Yeah. Well, we share the same language in Latin America. You know, we all speak Spanish, so
Or
that's not a
Portuguese.
problem, right? And we all listen either to Spanish music or English music. You know, because of course, if it's in Chinese or some other thing, we won't, right? But people listen to everything, all English music, no matter if they speak it or not. And now they have like K-pop and they stuff that like has slipped through the cracks now. Everybody
Slip through
loves
the
it.
cracks.
Yeah, now everybody loves it. But it's really weird, you know, to find an artist speaking in a way different language, making it on its own language. You know, it has happened with Rammstein, for example,
Oh,
which
Ramstein,
is
fantastic
huge
band.
worldwide, and they sing in German. But it's really weird. We you have this Mongolian band called the Who, also, which are really good. Not the Who from the UK.
I was
It's
going
the
to say, but they're from the UK, aren't
HU,
they? Right. Okay.
HU. And there's another Indian band called Bloodywood, which are actually pretty popular in the US, and they're from India, and they sing in um, I don't know, Hindi, and they sing in a mix of Hindi and English. But it's really weird to find a foreign artist making it overseas on his own language. It's really
Daddy
hard.
Yankee.
It's really hard.
Yeah. What about Daddy Yankee?
Oh yeah, but he's Latin, a Latin artist. He's a Latin artist, all
But
Latin
he made
American.
it on his own language, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but because of the Latino community, you know, we
Yeah.
all speak Spanish, and there's a huge Latino community in the States, so that plays a huge role in that. That's why I told you that the Latin music scene is the second biggest one after the American one,
Yeah.
because there's so many countries involved, and they all support each other.
Like a United States of Latin America, in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Kind of
Yeah.
like that. I don't know how else to explain it, to be honest. Right, guys. Well, we are coming up to near the end of our time segment, so I've got 2, maybe 3 more questions for you, and then I can let you go on your merry way. So, are you ready for your last couple of questions from me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, this question that I'm going to ask you is very important. Obviously, as you've mentioned, you've done a lot of other interviews before, and all that. So, if you do any other interviews after this, and if you appear on any other podcasts after this question that I'm about to ask you is that important that anything that anyone else asks you will be nothing. It will be meaningless compared to this question. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you sing in the shower? And if you do, what do you sing?
Well, funny enough, I don't sing in the shower because, you know, there's always like people around in the house. So I don't like to sing by my own. I only like singing with the band. I don't like singing on my own and other people overhearing me and stuff like that.
Wimp.
I hate that. I'm shy when I'm not with the band when it comes to
Wimp.
singing. Yeah, wimp.
What about you, Gonzalo?
Well, not singing, but I do wall drumming.
Wall
Yeah.
drumming.
I drum on the walls. That yeah.
Wow.
In the shower, that's weird.
Yeah,
I've
that
done
Yeah,
is.
that
no.
like I've done that in class in college, and I mean on my desk and stuff like
Yeah,
that, but
but in the shower,
not
that is
not
just
in the
weird.
shower.
That is like proper weird, man.
Yeah,
No, I think you're on your own there. Not
yeah.
even drummers that I've asked that question say they've done that.
This is a highlight in your podcast.
Yeah, yeah, certainly, yeah, yeah. I'm actually lost for words there. That is weird. Well, guys, have you had fun doing this with me today?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Would you like to
Well, like I
come back
told
on?
you, I'll never forget this because this is my first UK interview.
And it was my first interview with someone from Latin America, from Honduras. It was my first one, so it was actually quite a special one for me as well. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed having you guys on. I've really enjoyed talking to you about music, talking shop with you guys. So it's been an experience for me as well. Would you like to come back on the show then at a later
Oh,
date?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
When you've got your next lot of material out ready to go, get you back on and to promote that.
Yeah, yeah. Our next single is probably coming like in a month and a half, maybe.
Awesome. Well, there you go, everybody. Now, you heard it here first. They want to come back on the show. So you know what that means at home if you're watching this or listening to this. Next time we get them on the show, if you have a question for the band that you would like to ask them, put it down in the comment section. Next time we get them on, we'll read them out. And it is exactly the same rules that every single guest. The most ridiculous, the most messed up, the most fucked up question you can think of, put it down in the comments. We'll read it out to them next time they're on. In the meantime, it's been an absolute pleasure having these guys on the show with me, and I will see you all next week when we have a brand new guest. And